Hey team. So we're going to be giving you some videos on how to progress training week to week and some of the ideologies that we subscribe to or some of the tools that we use in making these decisions so that you can better understand your programming and execute it better, which will lead to better results as well as communication between me and yourself can get better and better. So here are some ideas for you. There are a huge range of progression models. And when I say progression models, I mean, how do we progress training from week 1 through to week 5? What sort of ideas do we use to make those decisions? There are a huge range, and any progression model can work, but individual response will create a spectrum of effectiveness. What I mean by that is that you could probably take one of 1,000 programs when you're new, and because you're very sensitive to the adaptation and stimulus of training, you could still get some pretty damn good results. But as you, as an athlete, start to kind of engage with the process and find more information out about yourself and become less sensitive to the training stimulus as you move to intermediate to advanced, we actually need to be more precise with what sort of progressions we use to make sure that they suit you very well. Our job is to not run a program that will work, but to follow the response of the athlete and find their unique training progressions. This is a two-way street. It is absolutely the coach's decision making that will help you guide you towards finding that best progression. But your role and the responsibility of the athlete, of the individual, is just as large, if not more so, as it is a journey that you have to undertake as an athlete to find your best training progression as well. All right. Now, this is the theory and the ideology that I subscribe to, that I use to make these decisions for your programming and for your progressions. Finding the best program via experimentation. Now, it's not all experimentation. We have to start with a really solid foundation. And that is the scientific or rationalized idea that I have up on the screen here. Basically, we start with something that has already been well established, either in the science or within the high-level powerlifting community that we see and we've time tested across the clients for many, many hours. So, simple idea that I have written up here is that if you train with a lot of volume, you tend to grow a little bit more muscle. That is a very well rationalized and proven idea at this point. What we do then is we pay attention to you, the athlete, and we try to find some clues about the way the athlete will respond to whatever rationalized idea that we've already presented. So some simple one here would be if you have a demanding job, then that high volume training will probably be slightly impacted by the amount of stress that you're already creating to the athlete system at work. And so we might want to do more of a moderate volume rather than go straight to that high volume. What we then do is execute, I said that poorly. What we then do is execute the change and create the program, right? We have the idea, we have the individual factor of you, the athlete, and then we want to make some sort of change or alteration or decision in the program to reflect that idea that we have. Your responsibility of the athlete really starts here. Your job is to then execute the game plan, ideally to a T, and understand the program in as much detail as you can. And over the years, your training IQ kind of will get better and you'll understand the program even more deeply than you would just at face value. But if we are able to execute that game plan well, then we will be able to make better and better decisions because now we can actually see what effects that program had. This is where one of those training, just be consistent with the training becomes a fucking huge thing. Because if you are consistent with the training and you're executing it, then the coach and yourself can make such better decisions on how the program should develop if it is consistent and compounding. And the last part, the very important part, is observe the outcome. This is a combination of multiple things. First of all, it's athlete feedback, the things that only you can tell about your training, about your body, about how you're feeling as someone who actually is doing the training, and the coach's eye. So that would be, in this case, my theoretical understanding of what training should look like, how it should be progressing, how technique should develop, all those scientific nerdy qualities. So this is a joint journey. The coach and the athlete working together to build their best programs. So 4 things, I'm just going to reiterate them real quickly. Scientific or rationalized idea, then we find some sort of clue about you. That could be as simple as, I feel better benching on Monday than I do on Thursday. Execute the change or put that in the program. Execute that program as good as you can as the athlete. And then you presenting feedback and myself reviewing all that feedback and how the program's going. This is how we find the best program over time. Okay, moving on. Observing outcomes. So I did want to go into a little bit more detail about what that means, because that is an essential part of it. And without that analysis or observing or collecting the data, we can't actually make any better decisions over time. We're just going to be spinning our wheels and going around in circles. So each athlete and coach may track different things depending on the program. Some athletes or some coaches may just track, hey, are you getting sore? If you're relatively new to training, just finding out if you get sore is enough data. But the data becomes more sophisticated and more important the more advanced that you get. So here's some common things that coaches will ask to track. If your lifts feel strong. This is essential for determining where through the week we should be putting on lifts and how each lift will affect each other. So I'll give you a really simple example. Let's say I program sumo squats on Monday. This is something that I've actually done. So I know this example intimately. If I program my sumo squats on the Monday, I do feel very, very good in the hips and very open in the hips by Wednesday. However, my adductors will be absolutely torched, and so my sumo deadlift would feel atrocious if I sumo deadlifted on Wednesday. If I did it on Thursday, it's still a bit icky, but if I left it till Friday, my hips would still feel pretty mobile while actually having the recovery in my adductors to lift heavy weights. And so when I was trying to force my lifts on the Wednesday for the sumo deadlift, I wasn't able to perform nearly as well as I could. Now, if I didn't track how strong my lifts felt and what they felt like on even each given day, I wouldn't be able to make that change, and I wouldn't have had such good sumo sessions towards the end of my block. Now, another thing they might track is technique. Is it good? Is it bad? And why? More detail you can add, the better. If you feel like doing Copenhagen's and some adductor work on the Tuesday does make your sumo feel better on the Wednesday, then that is absolutely something that can be programmed in consistently, and we can keep in there forever, indefinitely, if it is something that is working for you. But we need this information. We need the data. 3, how do you feel as an athlete, as a person? You are an athlete system, right? Not just a person. Oh, no. You're much more than that. You are a whole combination of variables walking around at any given time. Your mood, your energy, your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, all of these things will impact your ability to perform. And so as a coach, I need to know, how are you? If I don't know and you're crap and you come in and your deadlift looks crap, maybe I'll make a change to the program that isn't actually the most wise decision. And I didn't know that you just haven't slept the night before and your deadlift is just a bit rough. Or maybe you just haven't really been eating that much because you're stressed about something. And that could impact the program for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And all of a sudden, I'm observing a trend of like, oh, I really can't do this or that. Where what's actually been happening is you've just been feeling a bit off and performance hasn't been at its best. I've seen plenty of times where I think I'm onto something in terms of like program design, and the athlete feels confident in their program. They execute it. They go through a bit of a rough patch, but we stick it out because we know the program's going to work. And then as life stress kind of sorts itself out, all of a sudden, bang, program all falls into place. Their results go through the roof, right? The last one, kind of like coming off that, is life events. Anything that could alter your performance. We all have really rough things happen to us. We all have really fantastic things happen to us. My common example is, let's say you're a young person and you haven't had a partner, and then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, you're going out on a couple of dates, staying up late on the weekends, all that sort of stuff. You're feeling absolutely fantastic. Your lifts in the gym are flying because you are feeling so confident and so good. Is that a program thing? Or is that just you feeling really good? We need to know that, right? Now, in addition, as a coach, Devin, Nikita, myself at ISF, but all coaches, we need to be there looking at technique, how it's manifesting, how it's developing, the velocity, the spar speed, are your RPEs, is the feedback in the gym being honest, is your effort high, is the rate of progress good? We have a whole bunch of systems that we put you guys through in decision making. That was a poor sentence. Let me rephrase. We view our own set of criteria before making decisions, in addition to your feedback, and we intermingle what we're seeing and what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and we put them together, analyze them, and then go ahead and make better decisions going forward. What I'm going to do with these videos is, I have this little thing that I popped in here, which is from there, you just repeat the process over and over again, slowly chipping out our statue, which is our program, our progression model, down to reveal the best structure. It's not out there. It's not, someone doesn't know what your best training program looks like. It is revealed slowly by slowly chipping away at it and finding out these little facts about you and applying them over time and getting feedback and actually observing it. It's work. It absolutely is work, but it will be uniquely yours, your program alone. So we're not building it's a 5x5, it's 5-3-1, it's a Shiko programming, it's AI, Juggernaut's AI system. It's nothing like that. We are building. If it's the Matt program, it's the Matt program. If it's the Tom program, it's the Tom program. It's a Dylan program, it's a Dylan program. Right? That's what we're building. And we build it slowly, piece by piece. And better program equals better results. I'm going to take you through 3 tools that are commonly used. These are umbrella terms for different tools that you may use to make decisions in your programming. We'll take you through arbitrary, auto, regulatory, and RPE. However, I'm going to do these in separate videos to not kind of lore dump or info dump too much on everyone. Okay, hope this was helpful. If not, I don't care.